How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. I am going to be going over Bitcoin today, but I'm going to spend a lot of time on the 1 hour chart because I want to go over this equilibrium point and kind of give you a better feel for what could potentially be happening next over the next couple of weeks as we go into end of September. We're probably going to see some volatility, obviously, and everybody's kind of waiting for September. I've discussed equilibrium a lot, and obviously I kind of mapped out this entire hourly movement, right? And I gave two sort of scenarios. One was price rips to the upside and then continues down to EQ, or it just goes up a little bit and then goes down to EQ. And obviously the second one played out. We almost got there and then it kind of rallied a little bit. And at this point, the usual DMs and you're full of shit and blah, 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 right? And then obviously, we get this kind of reversal. And I was saying to somebody, well, two people actually, I am still expecting EQ to get hit because it's almost like it has to go down there. This kind of 56,554 level or thereabouts, give or take $100 is a very, very strong level. Price has spent a lot of time there. And more importantly, it uses that level to offset, right? So you end up in a situation where it's almost like price absolutely has to go down there. And this is where, very, very rarely I'll throw out a quote me moment, price is going there. And it was very close to that. There was a possibility that you get a rally through 61 and then continuation. But to be honest, it tried up here, at 60, so at 65. And I was saying, I really want to see 66 hold, so a breakthrough and then straight through 66 and then a nice hold there. We obviously didn't get that. And then when you get a big, strong movement like this, it's going through EQ. There's no question in my mind that it was going to go down there. And I was still, to be quite frank, I was discussing the EQ while price was still up here. I was still discussing EQ down here. This is why I leave my levels on the chart for so long. Very, very important that you leave them there because they play a much more central role in giving you contextual information when you're looking further down the line. So you can see that price. And I'm going to have to kind of zoom out a little bit, but you can see that price eventually did get down to EQ. I'm going to leave all of the markings on for now. I know it's a bit messy, but it hits straight through, straight into this LP down here, rallies a little bit, starts to reverse, and then eventually goes right through all the way as low as almost sort of 52.5, right? Starts to rally again, what looks like a reversal, and then we end up in a situation where it's spending time at EQ again. And you can see this is not one of those situations where you can say, well, is it really? It just is. Price came down, EQ. Moves away from EQ, comes back, spends some time there. Moves away from EQ, goes back to EQ. Tap, tap, tap. Now it's literally on the EQ line, right? This level is not just some random line that was created out of nowhere or some haphazard, price level that we've just decided to throw on the chart. This is a very, very important level, and the more time it spends here, the way it touches this level, how it accumulates and distributes at this level gives us a much, much broader picture on what's going to happen a little bit further down into, towards the end of September. So, and obviously as we have the US primaries coming up in November, there is that volatility increase. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. We have to use that to our advantage to get prices that we would never normally get throughout a normal course of the year, so this only happens once every 4 years, these kind of big events where there's a lot of things that are tied to these big events and could potentially create extreme volatility. And you just have to prepare yourself for that, prepare the scenarios, plan everything out, and it puts you in a much stronger position that when something does happen, it's not unexpected. It doesn't just happen out of the blue. You've kind of mapped it out so it doesn't surprise you, and then you can react, proactively, as opposed to seeing something big red candle or a big green candle and then just not really knowing what to do, and you just kind of FOMO in or kind of get out through fear. So going forward, as we stay in this level, I would say, this is a strong enough move and a reversal for this to be full negation, right? This was a reset point, and then obviously right now, is Bitcoin accumulating or is Bitcoin distributing? Is it buying or is it selling, right? Forget support resistance, forget what what we think we know, forget technical analysis, just look at this for a very, very simple point of view. Bitcoin's alive. Is it buying or is it selling? Just keep it like that. When you think that way, it puts you in a position to be able to wait for that opportunity where you see contextual bias or contextual movement to say, yep, that's giving me an indication that Bitcoin's on the buy side, right? Nope, that's giving me an indication that Bitcoin's on the sell side. Then you can react. If you do anything with it now, I know there's people that stack Bitcoin. I'm talking about myself. I'll just give you an example using me. I've been scaling into Bitcoin. I took that 10% off. I added most of it back on as we hit EQ. So going forward, it's like, well, where's my next add point? Do I do it now? No. Obviously, I've already purchased a chunk down here, but I obviously want lower prices. It would be great if it goes, lower, great. But I haven't seen enough. What I really want to see is I want to see an explosive move to the upside that looks like it's, this is it. Everybody FOMO's in, and then it reverses, right? If that doesn't happen and it continues, no problem. I don't mind. It's 66 for me. I need it to get back above 66 convincingly, because I don't want to be in this whipsaw up and down. I only want to add once or twice. I don't want to add and then keep adding as prices moving up and down in this crazy range. So I want to see, ideally, a snap to the upside, a reversal, a little bit of a movement to the downside. I want it to ignore all of these, sort of pockets of liquidity and just go straight for sort of 53, 52. And if it does that, then as we jump up the timeframes, there is a possibility that we probably end up, if we do get what we're looking for, a much deeper run down here. I'm not going to mark it just yet because you can see that first one dipped into this LP. But then I ideally like to see this taken, and then we'll go below this low and we'll start to run a little bit deeper, probably towards these wicks around about 50K. If not, and we start to run to the upside, then we really need to see, price get back above this range, 60, and then start to kind of slowly grind towards this rebalance point, which we can extend now because it was never hit in the first place, right? That was the 60K level, or towards 62K level. It never rebalanced fully, almost just there. So if it does start to grind up, and we get anywhere near this, it's going straight for the rebalance point, right? So that's where we're at with Bitcoin. Patience. I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. Happy to just, bide my time, be patient, wait for opportunities to come. Obviously, I would prefer lower prices. If it doesn't happen, then I'll just get it higher, no issues. And then obviously 100K is the target, 80K is the cutoff, 80K to 100K. That's that 20% that I'm looking for, that 20,000, where I'm going to hopefully make most of my money on any accumulation that's happened pre 80K. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon. Take care, guys. Ciao.